Vamps fans, you will need no introduction to. LBC fans, increasingly, James, you won't need much of an introduction to, because you're in touch with not just me, but most of my colleagues as well on an almost daily basis. I'm surprised you find any time to record material.
So am I. I mean, I'm always kind of backstage or wherever with my headphones in, listening to LBC. Yeah, I'm a bit of a strange individual for...
Oh, we love it. My 10-year-old didn't believe me until I showed her the exchanges we'd had together on Twitter. She thought I was genuinely making it up to say that, you know, this isn't just radio for older people. What is it that you like about what we do so much?
I think that I just love kind of submerging myself in something other than just constant music. I mean, I love music, it's what I do all the time, but it's great to kind of get involved with debates. I feel like I have something to share sometimes, and LBC provides that platform, so yeah.
But you've never rung in?
No, I'm a bit nervous. I'm a bit of a fan of you, James.
Come on, he's pulling rank here with his celebrity status. He gets a seat in the studio, but he's too nervous to ring in.
I'll come up with a mystery hour question at some point soon, and that'll be my ring in.
Why haven't you? Seriously?
I've been too nervous. I'm not the best at speaking coherently when I'm under pressure. So this is very scary for me. I'm a bit of a fan at the moment. So.
Well, it's very mutual. Thank you. It's lovely to see you here on this issue. I mean, we've sort of corresponded very, very briefly on the responsibility that you as a young pop star, I know you don't like that description, but it's the only one I can think of in the time available. The role you play in the life of your young female fans is quite incredible. I mean, I used to be a showbiz journalist, so I thought I'd seen most of what goes on, but the pleas and the begging and the role, the status you have in the lives of teenage girls it's staggering, and I'd have thought quite scary.
Yeah, I mean, I'm lucky very much for the position and the opportunity I've been given. I think in the present day, with the social media kind of being a prominent factor in a lot of people's lives, the majority of young girls are on all social media platforms. Yes. I think sometimes it's difficult for me to remember that at the end of my fingers there is a world of people listening, and I find myself repetitively deleting tweets about 3 seconds after putting them up, because it's easy to forget just kind of the sort of like the massive effect that some tweets can have. So yeah, I'm sort of.
This is the first thing that we had a sort of exchange about was about social media and the fact that you kind of do have a sense of almost wielding too much power in the lives of some of your fans.
It's scary, and I think I personally do forget a lot that it's not just a couple of people listening. It's out there on the world of the internet forever. So it's it's something that I feel some people perhaps take for granted and maybe say things without thinking, and that's something that I'm trying to make sure I don't do.
Why? And this will sound slightly like an old bloke asking a young bloke a fairly stupid question, but why do you care? Well, I mean, you're only in your early 20s. Why aren't you, doing what music stars have done for generations and sort of filling your boots in all manner of debauched ways? Why does it matter to you? Is it your mum's influence, your parents' influence?
I mean, I think for me personally, I have a younger sister who's 15 who is sort of on the receiving end sometimes of, I guess, like rumours and things. She goes to an all-girls school, and a lot of her peers there are fans of bands, and she gets a lot of unwanted attention. She's quite a shy individual. So I think for me, I think it's just, for me, I'm trying to address that. I know that you feel slightly different to I do on how social media is real, but for me, I see girls every day that are suffering from online bullying, and sort of are the victims of cowards online. So I'm trying to minimise that happening on my Twitter feed by how I kind of speak to people. And I think it's something that needs addressing, really. So that's why I'm so passionate about kind of social media and interaction in that way.
Do you, and I know you've got some of your PR people watching through in fact, you've got two of your bandmates watching through the grass as well. Brad and Tristan there. Where's the other one?
He's dislocated his knee, so he's at home.
No, that's allowed. Fair enough. That counts as a decent excuse. It wasn't smoked mackerel that got him there.
No.
So, all right. You kind of, I mentioned your PRs are here. Do you get frustrated then when you do the rounds of the sort of interviews I used to do as a show business journalist, and I want to know what your favourite socks are and your favourite sandwich fillings, because you've clearly got quite a lot of interesting thoughts to share on, dare I say, slightly more complicated stuff.
I think it varies. I mean, the reality is that the bands that I listen to, I listen to people like Taylor Swift or bands like that, or artists like that, and I genuinely want to know what pair of socks they're wearing or what they had for dinner if they had smoked mackerel. But at the same time, it's nice to also add kind of the reality, so what we're doing musically. But I think it's a balance. The present day, as I was saying with social media, it's very much personable online now. People want to know what you're doing every second. So I think there is a place for questions like that. But yeah, it's always nice to speak about the music as well.
What are you up to at the moment then?
Well, we're going on tour in a couple of weeks.
Yes, I know. We're on holiday, unfortunately, at the time. My
know.
daughters aren't going to forgive me for this.
I know, but first single's out 1st of April, so new music and new endeavours for the Vamps.
Fantastic. And I have to ask you this, because you are listening on an almost daily basis, except when you're on the road. What subjects don't you like? What topics do you think we should be steering clear of?
In fairness, I mean, I'm learning more and more every day, so new things is good for me, so
really?
keep on it, yeah, definitely. I've learned more about politics in the past 3 months than ever. So.
Have you really? Just from tuning in?
Yeah, I don't know anything really about what.
Do you reckon you could do it?
What,
Yeah.
Would be a politician or
no,
be you?
Either. Do you reckon you could do this?
Oh, I don't know.
Do you want to have a go? Not now. I'm not going to put you on the spot now.
I'd love to at some point in my life.
Reckon you
I'll
could
have to read some books first.
No, you wouldn't have to read some books at all. Nick Ferrari's never read a book in his life. It's absolutely. It's not a prerequisite. It's not. Seriously, would you reckon?
I'd absolutely love to at one point. Yeah.
Well, there you go. Stick that on the list, because my boss has just turned up as well to say hello. Did you hear that? There you go. There you see. You can't hold him to this. I want to see this happen. I sense that your two bandmates would be less keen to come on and present a radio phone-in about the EU referendum, or are they?
We could have a little trio going on. They could be my wingman and
make it happen. Make it happen. I'm talking myself out of a job here, James. It's been a real pleasure.
Thank you very much, James.
And no, thank you as well for getting involved, because I don't know how many listeners we've picked up as a result of you tweeting almost endlessly about LBC, but if we haven't picked up any, I'd be absolutely staggered. The challenge, of course, is to hang on to them on the days when you're not sharing your thoughts and your views. Just actually, the conversation we're having at the moment about International Women's Day and sexism, I suppose it ties in with the status you have and the notion of being some sort of, I mean, teen idol is such a fatuous phrase, but you know what I mean by it.
Yeah.
Is it different for a male pop star to a female pop star when you look at the female bands, the way they're judged a lot more than on their physical appearance than perhaps you are?
I think that it can be. A lot of our fans are female, so they directly look up to, female artists in a slightly different way to us. And I think that a lot of female artists are scrutinised quite frequently for saying certain things or dressing in a particular way, and I think that must be really difficult for the artist to deal with. But at the same time, I'm equally kind of responsible for making sure that everything I put out into the world is, sort of appropriate for my listeners. So yeah, it's a difficult subject, and it's gone on forever, and I'm sure it will continue going on. But yeah,
diplomatic as well. That's it. James McVey, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much.
No, thank you very much. Don't go away. I need you to record a message for my daughters. Seriously, otherwise I'm going to get lynched at the school gate later today. It's just turned 11 o'clock. We head toward the news a little later than usual due to the unscheduled and unexpected arrival in the studio of my guest. I have to tell you, James, Nimco Ali, who is a tireless campaigner on feminist issues and probably the leading light in this country on female genital mutilation, she's just tweeted me to say, whoever this guy is, he's absolutely lovely.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Thank you.
As an older woman writes.